there, this is Linda Jo Martin, the Book Lady, and this is my weekend reading plan video. Well, I'm so glad it's Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. And I'm happy to report that I finished reading all the short stories in Saints and Sinners by Edna O'Brien. A wonderful learning experience for me because she is such an accomplished short story writer. And in fact, this particular book won an International Poetry Award in 2011. These are excellent short stories. I do recommend them. Yes, you will meet some sinners in there, but you'll also meet a lot of lonely people who are just looking for love. So glad I read that book, and my plan for the weekend is to read Formerly by Dane Cobain. As you know, I've already started this book. It is intriguing. It is a techno-thriller, and it is written by a fellow booktuber, Dane Cobain. I'm reading this for the Indie Readalong that was started by Dane Cobain and Todd the Librarian. They're both indie writers, and so I thought I'd just do the indie thing this year. Does sound like fun, doesn't it, to read books written by fellow booktubers? So I'm doing that. And this is the first one that I'm trying out. I do hope I will have it completely read by the 29th when we're supposed to be doing our book reviews. Otherwise, I will be saying, well, didn't get it done. But I have hope, since I am clearing the schedule this weekend for that book and nothing else. I do have hope that I will get it done. So last week I showed you my bullet journal page with the big flowers, and I just wanted to show you I do fill the rest of the page in during the week. I've got some quotes over here. I'm writing down things that I did during the week, and this is a little graph that shows things that I've accomplished, which wasn't much because I was working. Now this is my new bullet journal page for the following week, and I've written my weekend reading and writing goals up here at the top. And I'll give you a little close up there. Now you can see the rest of the page. I've got all this yellow and orange going on, and I just wanted to let you know that the reason that is there is because I was creating this page and I accidentally tracked a little yellow and orange here into the middle of the page, and I thought that looked really cool. So I figured out how to do it. I just had to put the ink from Tombow markers, well, not this particular one, but a yellow one and an orange one, and I just put it on my table and mixed it with water from my watercolor pens, a water brush. Love these things. So I mixed it together, and then I dragged my ruler through it, and then I dragged my ruler over the page, and I got this neat effect, which I think is really cool. Sometimes when you have accidents with your art, it's a great opportunity to try something new. So what we have here is the plan for this weekend is to write some poetry, memoirs, and flash fiction, read Formerly, and then the other two books, Gulliver's Travels, I am reading at night, right before I go to bed on my Kindle. I've told you this before, so I don't want to get too repetitive, but I read it on my Kindle as I'm falling asleep. And then The Secret Scripture, I just love that book. I started it, but I'm not going to be reading it this weekend, even though it's up there. What I'm going to do this time is actually use this graph for the entire week instead of making a second graph down here. So that's why I put in The Secret Scripture, because I'm hoping by the end of the week I will be reading The Secret Scripture, because I just love that book. Can't hardly wait to get to it, but I enjoy Formerly too, and that's coming first. So I was going to tell you what pens I used to make this, because I know there's some people out there that just love pens and bullet journaling the way I do, so I thought I would share with you what pens I used. Like I said, you know, the Tombow markers. I love these things. I've got a bunch. This is not all I've got. I've got more in the other room on my art desk. But I use these in my bullet journal. These are watercolor pens, and you can mix them with water and they turn into watercolor, of course. because that's what they are. So I used that, like that's what this orange and green, or orange and yellow mess is down here, and the yellow around here is Tombow, and then most of this color is Tombow markers. And I also used, let's see, where is it? Here it is. Sorry about that. The carbon pen. I love this carbon pen. It is one of those awesome pens, right? It looks like a fountain pen, but it's a carbon pen. You can get them on Amazon. It says carbon ink pen made in Japan, platinum. The ink does not run when you combine it with water. So I should say it will smudge a little bit if you put the watery whatever pen over it too quickly before it dries completely. And that's what I used to make the flower scrolls up there. And then I filled in the flower scrolls with Tombow markers and with, oh my goodness, I didn't bring them. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, the pink that you see there, both my writing and the flowers, that is done with a pink fountain pen. This is a Pilot Varsity fountain pen. These are cheap fountain pens that you can buy in a set, and I also got these through Amazon. Well, you could, of course, get a real fountain pen, and I've got several in the other room, but these are a nice starter set, and I really like the fact that I didn't use them for about 4 months, and then I went back to them, and they had no problem at all in restarting. Whereas some of my fountain pens, if I don't use them for a while, I have to go wash them to get them to write correctly again, because they dry up. These don't do that, which I thought was really cool. The only problem with these is that you can't refill them. So for you people who love pens, that is the pen report for the week. So thank you for joining me for my Friday Reads video. I plan to have a great reading weekend, and I hope you will too.